Hello, everyone, and welcome to Seaview Quantum Network. I'm your presenter, Daniel, and I'm here with producer Claudia Pareco. Our opening song features Sunset Serenade by Cyclone. Albums and singles are available in all music stores and platforms. A moment of your time is one of the most extraordinary gifts we could ever be given. Each week, we create a place for you to rest your heart by providing the platform for peaceable connection to the most gifted lightworkers, intuitives, alternative healers who will surprise you with something different, something outside of what's expected, innovative and unique. Our shows are held on Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern U.S. time and 9 a.m. Pacific time. At any moment to participate on our shows, please call 805-830-8344 and press 1 to talk with the host.
And welcome, everybody. We are so excited. Today is the Encourage Psychomedium show with the topic of trusting your inner voice. Have you ever thought of the importance of grounding yourself spiritually and personally before you are ready to connect with spirit and get your own messages? Ann Carter, our amazing host, is a renowned psychic medium known for her incredible gifts. Many times she has been told, "You are the real deal." With over a decade of experience, Ann has been helping people across the United States, across the globe, gain clarity and direction in their lives. She connects with your guides, angels, and loved ones on the other side to deliver messages that resonate deeply and provide the guidance you need. She loves the tarot cards. She loves to talk to spirits and to help people to navigate these times with the personal mission to aid individuals on their journey to personal enlightenment. The summer of 2024 is a very important summer for Ann because she started the classes that she is open to anyone that wants to have a psychic development with her. These classes are held in different mediums. It can be in person, it can be online, it can be anyhow you need that information to start or to continue your own evolution. Please go to Ann's website, Ann Carter Medium, to get this more information about the classes and how to sign up. And remember that she comes to the show the last Friday of every month. Again, today's show is titled Trusting Your Inner Voice. In this episode, Ann and a special guest, surprise guest, will highlight the crucial role of trusting your inner voice and how grounding yourself can enhance your spiritual and personal well-being. Many challenges we face stem from not recognizing or trusting the messages we receive from our higher self and guide. And will provide insights into how you can strengthen this trust and become more attuned to the guidance that is always available for you and me. Now, let's get started and see what the messages and insight Ann has for us today. And, of course, we're doing live mini readings. Remember, when it's your time to ask the question, think of the question that you want Ann to answer and try to be as clear and concise for that. This is one question. And we are having a special discount for people listening to today's show, and we're going to give you the code so you can get that discount. And welcome to your show. We are so excited to have you here.
Well, thank you so much, Claudia. And hello, everyone. I'm excited that everyone is here. So I know we've got several people who want to do some readings, and I know we've got a lot of great information to share. You feel compelled to share something. You feel like, oh, I really need to bring this out. And you always have to listen to your instinct. You have to, because if you don't, it keeps nagging at you, doesn't it? It just keeps on pushing you. And this is one of the topics that I felt that we need to talk about. So, Claudia, thank you for having me.
No, thank you so much for being here. And I know that there's someone with us here as well that is going to help us with the topic and with the show, enhancing the light and the power of what we're talking today.
Absolutely. So let me start by saying it was 20 years, I think. Let's see, it's 2014. So it was about 20 years ago. Me and my best friend in the world, my sister that I chose by choice, not by blood, we started on this journey together of, there's something else out there. There's a different path. I felt nudged and pushed to learn things, and she was there from the beginning. So I'd like to introduce my friend, my mentor, my sweet sister, Miss Deb.
Hello. It's so nice to be able to speak with all of you today.
So we're going to talk a little bit about trusting your instinct, your inner voice, and we wanted to share a couple of examples because I know you guys are listening. You're thinking, well, how can I trust my intuition? Is it intuition or is it a fear? Is it something that is an insecurity that I have? Is it something that I try very hard to avoid because it's scary? And I want to help you guys through that. And I feel the best way to do it is through stories and actual events. So we will get to everybody on the call, or my goal is to make sure we do all the readings. But I wanted to start off with this. When you are, and I'm going to ask my sis, Deb, a few questions, and we haven't rehearsed this, by the way, so it's just coming right from the heart, which I love. But here's the question: is there ever a time in your life that something happened that you had the little voice in your head or a little nudge that was intuition, and how did you know it was something that you can trust?
Well, there's one thing that comes to mind pretty quickly. It was a night that you and I were driving in a very bad storm, and we were on a backcountry road, and it was raining so hard you couldn't see the road, and you were driving, and you slowed way down and almost to a stop, and we're sitting there trying to see the road, and all of a sudden I got this gut feeling, and you got it at the same time, that something was very wrong and we needed to get out of there quickly. And it wasn't a voice per se. It was just like, get out, move, move, move. And I looked at you, and I could tell you were feeling the same thing. And I said, kick it, let's get out of here quick. And you did. And you actually heard something behind us, which I did not. But when we came back by there later, a tree had fallen on the spot that we were stopped. And so that was our angels, I think, telling us, you better move quickly, you've got something here that's dangerous.
It's interesting because you got your message the way it would resonate with you, and I got the message that would resonate with me, but it was the same message. It's how you hear it could be different from your best friend. So don't second guess what you think you heard, because you're the best indicator of what you heard or how you felt. Like when you think about a rainstorm and it's practically, it wasn't hailing, but man, it was coming down really hard. You slow down, you put your hazard lights on, right? But I heard move, move now. And I looked at my sis, and she said the same thing. And so I gasped it. I don't know if you guys ever drove fast in a rainstorm, but it's kind of scary. But thank God we did, because I heard something like big cracking noise behind me, and that was the tree. And the craziest thing is this. I heard, out of all the rain pouring on the car and you can barely hear yourself think, I heard her phone. Your phone went off, and you don't remember that. But I heard her cell phone going off, which was an alarm for me to pay attention. So keep that in mind, is that when things like that happens to you, it's probably a memory that you have, like, wow, that was just weird. What did you do in that scenario? Did you listen to your instinct? Did you listen to the voice or your nudge or your feeling? Or when you didn't listen, do you remember that you should have? So those are things to think about. Anything else that comes to your mind, sis, about your gut instinct? How do you know you can trust your own instinct? You can trust the voice within.
Yeah, it's very difficult. That is a challenge I think all of us have at some point, questioning, is that really my inner voice? Is that really my higher self? Or is that my ego, insecure, fear, jumping in, trying to change whatever I'm about to feel like I'm about to do? It is a challenge. You're auditory, and you can hear.
Mm-hmm.
You hear things really well. I am slightly auditory. I can hear some, but not as well as you. I remember the time that you were in the car and your voice and your angels tell you to get off the road. You want to share that story?
I think I shared that at another. That's okay though. It's a great story. I'm driving on the road on Interstate 85 in North Carolina. And all of a sudden, I was looking at the cars around me. I was noticing a semi-truck. I was noticing a pretty color car. It was a champagne color. And I was noticing a white pickup truck or a van that obviously belonged to a painter. Because, you can see, what I'm talking about. You see that white truck or a van, and it's full of paint. And you're like, that must be a painter. Here's my point. I just got off the exit to get my gas and something to drink. It was late at night. And all of a sudden I heard, pull over. And so I did. And to make a very long story short, when I got back on the interstate to get back home, lo and behold, I saw the blue lights. I saw the fire trucks not far from the exit. And there was a deadly accident. I know it was deadly because there's no way this one person in the champagne color car could have survived. But all three vehicles were in that accident. And I would have been in it. And it wasn't my time. I do believe that when it's your time, you're going to go. But that wasn't my time. So when you break it down to think about, let's look at the logic side of this. Do you feel an instinct? Do you feel fear or an anxiety or a rush of energy? That's clairsentience. That's the ability to feel clearly, like clearly feel instinct. But if it's a voice or something that's not you, that it just dropped into your head and you know it or you hear it, that could be clairaudient or claircognizance, or I call clear knowing. These clairs are a way for us to be able to understand, see, and hear all of the spiritual conversations that we need to hear. So it's like opening up that realm, opening up that ability to get information from spirit. So,
which I think takes practice. I think the more you make a time to speak with spirit, the more you learn to recognize what is, your that inner voice. And it takes practice.
Absolutely. So, Claudia, what's your thoughts about that? Anything you'd like to add as well from your experience?
I think the only thing that I would add is that many of these gifts or these situations happen to you regardless of you doing anything about that. In my case, in this case, we're talking about when this happens. Usually, many times you are not even trying to connect or trying to have that inner voice or inner connection. So when that happens, I think that's the best confirmation that something out there exists.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. So you're not prepared. You're not waiting for a sign. But how many times have anyone who's listening, how many times do you say, okay, I need a sign. Give me a sign. And you are imagining or hoping what that sign would look like. But it might be a totally different sign. So, keep that in mind when it's about communication and being connected and being led to what you need to do. Oftentimes when I do readings and I work with people who are developing their psychic ability, the common question is, how do I know it's not me and it's actually spirit or my angels or guides or whatever you want to call it? And that's a really great question because we can get in our own way. And I was sharing this at one of our psychic development classes here this past week. And it's one of the most difficult things as light workers or people who are interested in developing their skills is to say, hey, is this in my head? Is this me thinking this? Or is this real? Is this from spirit? And there's not just one quick answer other than I can give you some of my signs. When I get something that is so profound and not something I would normally say or think of, and it flows out of my mouth like it's easy, that's not me, that's spirit. Because whatever I said was so profound to the person who heard it, it just resonated with them. It doesn't resonate with me because the message isn't for me, it's for them. And that's one example. Another thing is that it happens quick. It happens so quick, and sometimes it's really loud because you need to pay attention, like the two examples that Deb and I just talked about. So, and that's the beginning stages. If you are interested in learning more about your own psychic abilities, I do offer a class, and it's a 3-part series. In fact, the feedback I got from my last group was saying this needs to be longer. They didn't want to end it, which is great to hear. But what it is I work with showing you what are the clairs that are available and discovering what your strengths are and focusing on what you're good at, not what you're bad at. You don't have to be good at all the clairvoyance, the clairaudient, the clairsentience. You got to find out how you communicate. So with that being said, I do want to share that we are doing I'm doing a $50 off a full hour reading with me. So you go to my website and then you hit the comment button like I want to contact Ann and just put in trusting your inner voice on the comments, along with whatever else you want to share with me, and then I will book you a reading with $50 off. How's that sound?
Excellent. So are we ready to take some callers, Ann?
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do the first caller.
Okay, so we're going to go with Florida, and we're going to start with Suzanne.
Okay. Hi, Suzanne. Can you hear me okay?
Hi. Yes, I can. Thanks for taking my phone call. I recently moved to Florida, but it's really not for me, and my son's going to be living in North Carolina, and I want to move near him, and I'm trying to move this November, December. Do you see me moving? I have to get a job in an apartment there, but I have to have faith I can.
Okay. Well, give me just a second. What I like to do is do cards, as Claudia said, especially when it's fast answers. So if you hear a noise, it's just my cards. So you want to know.
Also, if I can have a sign that I'm going to move somehow between now and November, that there's some sign.
Oh, I love it.
November, December.
So you really want to move in November, December? You want to move?
Well, my lease is up in November. Then I have to re-sign it for 8 months or a year. You see what I mean?
Okay. So I do see automatically October, the end of October is a decision or discovery, which makes sense because if you're moving in end of November, December, that would make sense. It's not revealed yet when completely, but I see, like I'm in North Carolina right now, and I do see
what
the
part?
trees. Well, I'm currently in the Charlotte area today, but I do live in Black Mountain area, which is near Asheville. But I do travel throughout the state for readings.
Yeah, I'm trying to move to Raleigh.
Okay, well, that's where my daughter lives. Beautiful area.
Oh.
One of the things I do see is two signs, two visions, is Oktoberfest, which obviously is October. The trees, the leaves are already turned. So it looks like
they don't in Florida.
Yeah.
I'm only here a year. It's too hot for me all the time. But anyway, I'm originally from Long Island.
So I do see that there's definitely a move coming. And it is because it's someone that you do love. Now, you got the King of Cups, and that means, to me, it's always a person. And the cups represents emotion and love. So it is a connection with you and your son. You mentioned your son. This just confirmed what you said. At this point, I see that you want to do something about it. You want to start planning, and that's fine. But as far as a location, are you looking for an apartment or house?
He's going to live in Raleigh, and I want to live, close enough with him, like 15, half an hour. But this is the thing. I have to get a job. I can probably get a school job, but then I have to get an apartment. So when the schools start, if I say I want November, December, they're going to say, okay, start in 3 weeks. I don't know if I can get an apartment because I have to get one on a budget because I can't pay 2 and 3 times the rent. I don't make that much.
Right. That's
the big problem. But I don't have anybody to live with unless I can live with him for a month. But he's going to be living with his girlfriend's parents because he's just getting out of something again in November.
I see Apex. I see a name that starts with an A. So if you check that area out, unless there's another town in that area that
I don't know. There's Cary, Raleigh.
Yep. Cary is right next to Apex, so I would look into that. And as you were talking, I pulled another card, and it was a 6 of Pentacles. This card really talks about balancing, budgeting, and getting your ducks in a row. So
that's what I'm going to be doing.
It looks like you are going to be moving. It does feel like it's going to be an apartment, or a duplex. I do see steps, which is, I know, something that you're like, oh, I don't know if I want steps, but they're not going to be much. It looks like it's going to be just steps to get to the front door. That's why I'm thinking it might be like a duplex or the first floor in an apartment. I also do see light blue, kind of like a slate blue, on the sign coming in. So it looks like it is an apartment complex or a community that way. So you're going. It's going to happen.
Yeah, so great news, Suzanne. So let us know, please, how that goes. Okay, so now, so we have Illinois, Georgia, Virginia, California. Where do you want to go?
Let's just go to Illinois. Let's take them in order.
So
I think that's Jessie, right?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. What's your first name?
It's Patsy.
Patsy. I wrote down Jessie, but then I wrote Patsy. I'm so sorry. For anyone who is going, how does she know her name? I didn't. I spoke to just a couple as they were calling in, so that's why. So Patsy, tell me, what's your question? What would you like to get clarity on?
For the 2 years, it's been probably the challenge of my life, and it's as well with my son. And he is estranged. We're together, but he's estranged from me, and he really has a lot of hostility and anger towards me, and it's just making everything feel that much more heavy of a burden I'm carrying. And I just don't know how to reach him, and it's kind of tearing me apart because I have a lot that I have to do in my life to heal myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just so hurt. My heart is broke.
Right. When I first connected with you, when you spoke, I immediately had pain in the right side of my body, my neck, my shoulders, which to me that feels like incredible stress, pressure, and heaviness around you. Do you feel a lot of pressure on your back? Are you physically?
Well, I found out that a medication I was taking, it was prescribed by a doctor, is having any adverse effect on me, and I have to taper off of it, and I'm in the process of doing that. Mm-hmm. So that's where all that discomfort and pain and is coming from.
Yeah, it almost feels like my nerve endings are on fire too. Like it really hurts.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so I want you to think about your son for just a moment. Just picture him and open the heart of a mother's heart that you love him no matter what. Okay, I got him. So there is a lot of hostility. There's a lot of anger, but it's not all you. You're the punching bag in the situation. He blames you for a lot of things. And when you look at it, you're like, okay, how can I take the blame for everything? Well, because you're mom. That's why. He's got anger issues as well. I mean, was he always mad or like he would fly off the handle? Does that sound like him?
Actually, he kept everything always inside. And when my husband passed, I think a lot of that came, he never ever said anything negative.
But it
until the last 2 years.
Out. Yeah, now, well, it is now. Like it's all coming out. Does he also live in Illinois then?
Yes.
Okay.
He's temporarily with me.
Mm-hmm. Good. Okay.
It's even harder because I'm feeling it every day and wanting to make peace all the time, and he just is. It's like he hates me. He doesn't care what happens to me.
All right. So let me do some work here. Hold on. Just give me a sec. Okay. The first thing that I see, and it's confirmed, is the Eight of Cups. And let me tell you what that's about. That's about moving past the pain and the hurt and still loving someone. Like you're reflecting back at some things. He does hold a lot of hostility. And it's like you said, it's bottled up, but it's out now. I can feel and see his anger. What he wanted in life, what he thought he was going to be and get, he is not getting. He had his mind what things would be really like a nice life. I don't know if he felt jilted with finances or he's not where he wants to be, and he's angry about that. The thing that he needs to do, I don't know if he's got a steady job or not, but seeking for his own path, his own career, his own way of making money. He's got to have a win. He's got to be successful in something, and he feels like he's beating himself up. So one of the things that came up real quickly as you were talking, especially when you said that you guys are currently living together, is bless the house. Like pray over your place and pray for peace. Say, I want peace, I want love, I want harmony. Be very careful not to say what you don't want. For example, don't say, I don't want to fight anymore. Okay, when you say that, Spirit hears fight, and so therefore it's gonna end up with a fight. So say a positive spin. I want peace between us. I want love between us. I want to have joy. So state the words that you want, but walk through your home in each room and command the blessing of this is a sacred place, and we will heal our relationship starting today. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
And I'm going to send you some good love and energy, Patsy, because I know I could feel your pain and I could feel your fear. But remember this, you were chosen as his mother for a reason. He chose you. And this is one of those crossroads that you have to help him and you have to help you. But you can't make him think anything. You could just show him the way. So I get that directly from Spirit. And when I get goosebumps to confirm it, I know it's what you needed to hear.
And thank you for calling. And you know what I was picturing, and I don't know if it makes sense. I was picturing roses, to have flowers, roses in her house, and that could have helped her. I don't know if you agree with that.
Oh, absolutely, because the flower rose originally is as a love energy, and you can get really detailed about which color rose should I bring, but it's the intention behind the gift. So I would bring in flowers and just bring in nature and keep it alive. Once flowers, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, when flowers die, get them out of your house. Because that's actually that's not the best energy. Like when you get a fresh cut flowers and drying them is totally different. But sitting them on the table and they're dead and they're long dead, but you can't throw them away, it does permeate into the energy, by the way. So anyway, let's take the next caller.
So we're going with Rhonda, and she gets 2 questions because he used Take My Call.
Okay, beautiful. Hi, Rhonda.
Hey, guys. Sorry, my German coworkers are busy.
Do you want me to come back? Are you good? Or you want me to come back to you?
I think I'm good. They're settling down.
Okay.
So the other weekend, you and I had a reading together, and one of the things that you indicated was that my job might be at its end.
Okay.
And you had mentioned that it wasn't showing, itself, it wasn't revealing anything more at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it revealed itself yesterday. So the hospital system is being taken over by a different hospital system.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to get clarity on where I'm headed. Am I going to be able to stay with this new company? Do I need to be seeking another position with otherwise? What do you see with that?
Okay, awesome. Well, just give me just a moment. And I do remember. So that was that. Yeah, I think that was just literally 10 days ago.
Right.
Okay.
It came fast.
It came fast.
I don't know what she's talking about, but now I do.
And you bring up a really good point, because oftentimes when I do readings, I'll see something that the person that I'm reading says, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, crap, that happened. And so I only get to see what I'm supposed to see. And as a psychic medium, my contract with Spirit is to say exactly what I hear, even if I don't understand it. So always look to that for a psychic. All right. First of all, I need to tell you this. It's supposed to happen. You got the Judgment card, and to me, it isn't what it sounds like. Judgment means, in the card, a lot of people think, oh, well, this is a punishment. No, it is not. It is a call to action. It's a call to step up and to step away, or something else will be presented. So this was meant to be. There is going to be a decision that you get to make about, I think you're going to be offered, do you want to stay or do you want to go? And if you stay, it's going to be pretty chaotic. There's going to be a lot of internal battles and external battles. It looks like there's going to be a lot of people rushing to make themselves look better while stepping on people, if that makes sense.
It does.
But the other thing is I see is like tap into your own strength as a female. And I know that sounds weird, but your intuition is strong, Rhonda. It is. And your nurturing heart is a gift. And so always keep that in mind, that speak your truth. And when they sit down and talk to you and give you an offer or options, you may not want to stay. This might be something that you want to do on your own. I would advise not to answer right away, but to think on it, because what I also got was you need to reflect on this by yourself. My question to you is, do you want to stay?
Well, given the information that you have provided today, where there could be battles, people stepping on other people, is the money going to be the same? That's a question, that will have to be addressed at the time. And so I would not be able to make that decision sitting here today without knowledge of what's to come.
Okay. Do you go to work or you work from home?
I work from home.
Okay. Because as you were talking, I pulled another couple cards and just touched them to figure out, give me more details on the spirit world. What I'm hearing is that even though there's going to be a lot of bickering and fighting, it doesn't have to affect you. But when it's time for them to sit down with you, show them your strength, show them your heart. Don't try to impress what other people are doing. Remember to be yourself. I also see that there is a new environment that's going to happen.
Oh, boy.
And when I first touched it, I thought, I was looking at, an office or a building, and then I heard, no, it's not that. It's a different, since you work at home, it's going to feel different. So to me, that looks like you're going to report to different people. There's going to be a different team. It might be something that's in the same kind of work, but it might be with a whole new group of different people. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so I would wait.
Yes.
I keep on hearing the word wait. Let things kind of settle, because it's going to be a circus for a while, and you're in the middle, but you're not involved. Just make sure that you stay steady. You got to make sure you stay
good.
steady.
I've been working on over the last few years being true to myself. And so that I'll place focus in that area.
There is going to be
when all of this comes.
There is going to be something that's going to come up that's going to give you something new to learn, or a new kind of way they do things. It could be a new computer system. It could be a new method. Whatever it is, it's going to be a little frustrating for you at first, but it's nothing that you cannot overcome. It's just a new system. That's what you have to remember.
Okay.
And not to fear it.
That's easy enough.
Yes.
That's easy enough, because we're all up in arms right now. Like part of our hospitals are staying with their current owner, and most of the facilities are going to the new hospital. So I learned in the last 6 months or so-ish that our hospital system is $1 billion in debt. And so this is a direct result. It's a takeover, basically, but they're not taking over every hospital and every facility. So some will remain, but the majority of the facilities will be in a takeover.
Wow, that sounds like it's going to be an interesting ride, isn't it?
Yeah. I love this job, and I wasn't looking for anything like this to come about for sure.
Okay. Well, it's not what happens, it's how you handle it, and you're prepared, and you're ready to take over. So I do believe this is something that you're going to stay. It feels, but it's going to feel completely different. There's going to be a shakedown. There's going to be some people that you work with currently that you won't have anymore.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But that doesn't feel like it's a bad thing, though. It feels kind of like a relief in a way. So things will settle. I see February. I just popped in the month February. Things look really calm then, which if you think about it, what is this? This is July, August. So it might take about 6 months for that to kind of settle in. Right.
They're telling us that the takeover will be in the first quarter of the year. So February, it makes sense.
That's first quarter.
Yep. Right. Smack dab in the middle.
Right. Well, thank you so much for calling, and I hope you're enjoying the show. I know that, can I share how I know you?
Oh, absolutely. And I sent you an instant message. So I really thank you for this. This gives me, I know you and I are going to talk more about this in the months to come when I schedule, with you on your site. But this gives me some hope and some calmness. Right. Good. So Rhonda was just completed a course of psychic development with herself. She was part of the group, and that's how I got to know her. Is I really got to
Well, and other classes in the past as well, tarot class and such. But you've done an amazing job, and you're growing. And I'm so excited and so thrilled for you of your development and your growth.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. And for those listening too, Anne is a blessing. I feel like I've connected with her for a reason in my self-development, and I want to continue this to develop with her, by her, beside her, whatever, through your education. And I want to continue to develop myself, and I feel honored that I've been able to connect with Anne.
Well, thank you so much, Rhonda. I feel the same with you. So thank you. And I will definitely chat with you soon. And we've got some things happening on our psychic development group on Facebook. We have a private group for anyone who is interested in growing your own skills as far as a psychic, or just tapping into your own strength. Send me a Facebook request, Ann Carter Medium, or just Ann Carter on Facebook. You'll see a beautiful teal blue lotus is my image that you'll see on the page. And just request to be friends. And if you're interested in joining, just let me know. I'll bring you to my private group of like-minded people, learning as we go. So thank you so much. Right,
thank you, everybody. And let me just remind people that if you contact Anne with this show and you go to her website and you send her a message with the name of the Trusting Your Inner Voice, she's doing $50 off from any of her readings. And we have lots of people. So let me tell you, we have Georgia, North Carolina, we have Virginia, we have New York, we have a 707 area code or a 330 area code that I haven't gotten their name. So where do you want to go? Or
let's go to Georgia. Let's go to Georgia.
Okay.
And is there a Colorado person here?
No, she disconnected. So let's go to Georgia, and I'll get the other names while you talk to Sonia from Georgia.
Okay. Hi, Sonia.
Hi.
Hi, welcome to the show. I don't think I've ever read you, correct?
Correct.
You feel brand new. So tell me, what's your question? What can I do to help you?
Well, I want to know if I'm going to find love soon.
Is there anybody in your life currently that you're looking at?
No, I got divorced about 7 months ago, and I had been going back and forth with my ex-husband, but I'm really tired of that, and I want to move on and have my own person. I know that he's seeing other people. It's real toxic. I just want to move past that and just find my own person.
Okay, let's see what we can find. A couple of things are coming right away, and you do have a very strong spiritual guide. I'm not sure, have you connected with this guide? It's a female. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I feel, yes. I've been feeling things.
All right, I got to tell you something. This is funny. And my sister's right here, and she and I was doing the cards. I was shuffling, and I do 3 cards, and I started giggling right away because there are certain images that must be present when it comes to a new relationship. And there's 2 specifically. One of them is the Ace of Cups. Ace represents new beginnings. That means there's somebody that you don't know, and this represents you're not going back to your ex-husband. Okay, I know that there was, in and out, back and forth, but this does feel like there is something new. You also got the 2 of Cups, which is the next one in, basically really says, hey, this is someone who's going to be your equal. This is someone who's going to be someone that you absolutely, it's not a one-way relationship. Before you did all the work. You don't have to. It's going to be equal. And you're going to be blown away because you're like, wow, I'm treated like a princess or a queen, but that's the way you should be treated. So keep that in mind that it is coming. You do have to do some work. And here's what you need to do, okay? You've got to determine what is it that you want in a relationship. Even if you write it down on a notebook, a piece of paper, like 5 qualities that you want in a relationship or in a person, a man, that you need. Like one of the things I hear is that he has to be financially stable, right? He has to be able to bring his own bread to the table, if that makes sense. But what other qualities do you want in that relationship? So I do see it coming soon. I do see another 6 months. So this is what, July, August, September, October, December, January. I would say right around December, you might be feeling really confident. And there's a joyous time in December, especially around family. But it looks like things are going to happen. You're going to start meeting people around, I would say, the new year. How does that resonate with you?
Well, it sounds okay. I mean, it's a new year.
I know it's like, well, I wish it was next week, but
yeah.
I would put yourself out there. Here's the other thing: once you hear information, and this is for everyone, once you hear information from like a psychic medium, and I give you like a timeline, that doesn't mean that you have to drop the reins of your own life and allow things just to come to you. You have to still be active. You still have to do the things that you were planning to do. So if you're going to go to an event with your girlfriends to meet people and you're like, no, I don't need to. Anne said I'm going to meet somebody. Well, you just kind of sabotage yourself. You got to go out and continue to do what you were normally going to do. So keep out there and keep looking. But it does look like it's someone you have not met yet.
And do let us know, Sonia, how that happened. Okay, and so we have lots of people. So we have North Carolina, Virginia, we have California, Mississippi, New York.
All right, let's do California popped up and Virginia popped up real quick. So those are the 2 areas that I need to talk to first. So either one of those.
Okay, so California, we have 2 people. One, let me see. No, we have 1 people. Huh, Valerie, you're in luck. So it is Valerie from California.
Hi, Valerie.
Hi.
Hi, great
How's
energy.
everyone?
Doing great.
Thank you.
All right, so what's your question? What's your question, sweetie?
Yeah, I want to see what's coming in first. Will it be a job or will it be a relationship, and when?
What's coming in first?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't even have to do cards for you. You are so strong, by the way. You're open. Your energy is wide open, and I really like that about you. Are you like a public speaker, or are you a leader of people or groups? What is it that you do? What kind of work do you do?
I was in the medical field at one point.
Okay. Is that something that you want to do?
Technical. Yeah, I want to do it part-time, not a full-time situation.
Okay. Well, whatever it is, your spirit just jumped up and talked and showing me that you are capable of doing a lot more of what because of who you are and what in your spirit. So I definitely acknowledge that. Like you can determine, manifestation is big with you. So whatever you decide that you want to focus on, once you make that decision, things kind of just fall into place. Same thing happens in relationships. But I'm going to go ahead and do a quick spread on you. Is there anybody in your life currently or that you're interested in?
No.
Okay. All right. So I like to ask that just that way I could see to look in the past or look in the future.
Okay.
All right. Let's see what we got. And I don't think I've ever read you before either. Correct?
No, that's correct.
Okay. So when it comes down to taking care of yourself and being responsible, that's one of the things that you're doing is just taking your life by the reins. You're really moving forward. It does show also, did you recently have a relationship that ended that's still causing you some pain, or there's some heartache going on there?
That wouldn't be in a relationship, no.
what would be the heartache? Would it be something that a position you didn't get or a job that left? Because it's showing up.
No, it's more on a real personal level. I don't want to really say.
I gotcha. All right. Well, it does affect your, and I'm like, well, let's take a look at your future, what's coming, new job, new relationship. And that was smack in the middle, like you got to deal with it. So whatever that heartache is, you have to deal, you have to face it, and you have to forgive and move on is the message that I get. But I also see on the flip side of that, after that, you have a really financially and how you live and how you feel, it is a beautiful, solid life. You're not going to you don't have to want anything or need anything. So financially, it feels like you're going to be just fine. I don't see a relationship anytime soon because there's still some heartache that you need to deal with. And maybe it's you were burned or maybe something's going on. But I do see you pay attention to your budgeting, pay attention to get things in order. And there is going to be someone that you are going to meet, but it's going to be in the field that you work in. He's going to be very like-minded of what you do. So if you're in the medical field, it feels like that you're going to meet somebody down the road in that same field. If it's going to be in finance, for example, just an example, it will be somebody in that field. Could it be somebody at work? Yeah, but not necessarily. But it's going to be similar to what you do.
Okay.
Yeah, so that seems good. But the big thing that I know you don't want to talk about it, and you certainly don't have to, but one of the lessons that you have to do before you can receive the gifts that are right at your doorstep is forgive others who hurt you and be able to move past it. The Five of Cups really talks about you're looking at what you lost, not what you have, or you have to really change the way you look at things. Because I also got from your spirit that you tend to shut things down and close them up. That's your safety mechanism. That's how you move forward. But I would say focus on that. And I do see you in a power position of leadership, by the way. So that, I know you said part-time, but down the road, you're going to step into your calling for sure.
And then can you mention again, for everybody that is listening, we have a long list of callers, about 10 more.
Okay.
How can they contact you and get that Trusting Inner Voice discount?
Oh, absolutely. Just you go to my website, or you can Facebook friend me. Either way, I'm Ann Carter on Facebook, AnnCarterMedium.com, and my email is AnnCarter at gmail.com, AnnCarterMedium@gmail.com. So I know that if you got this information from Claudia, you probably have my name somewhere. What you want to do is just make sure you say Trust Your Inner Voice, and you'll get $50 off an hour reading. And I love doing hour readings because you get so much more information, and it's just going to be you and I. So we can do it over the phone. We could do it on Zoom. I do in-person readings, but those are usually within North Carolina, and I do a lot of over-the-phone readings. It's the same energy. One's not better than the other. One is not, like in-person readings aren't going to be, I'm going to get more information from Ann because I'm in person. It has nothing to do with that. It's all about spirit.
Thank you, Ann. So now we're going to Virginia, and we're going to bring Dee to the show.
Okay. Dee.
Hi, Ann. How are you? Thanks for taking my call.
Oh,
this is my first time calling in, so
welcome. And so what's your question?
My question is, I know I'm at a crossroad, so I'm working. It's a very toxic environment. And as an empath, it's really hard for me. I want to just find out do you see a new opportunity coming? Because, as I said, I'm at a crossroad. I'm willing to say, step away without even having a job per se.
Gotcha. All right. Well, take a deep breath, because you are carrying a lot of emotions that don't belong to you.
Yes. Yes.
And that's a lot of chaos that's happening around your energetic field. So I would say the first thing is really learn how to neutralize your own energy so you're not carrying other people's weight, other people's emotion. Because as an empath, guess what? That's what happens. That doesn't mean you have to keep it. I mean, you can keep the gift, but learn to neutralize. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you real quick, this is what you need to do. When you're at home, in your safe space, in your sanctuary, calmness, sit, take a deep breath and say, I release any energy that is not mine. And just put your hands, palms facing down towards the ground, and let it seep out. And the minute you do that, you'll feel better. You can immediately feel it. It's already happening. Good. Holy cow, that's good. You're doing it. You're doing it. All right. So now what we do is do some cards and say, you're at a crossroads, you say. You want to know what's going on. What should you do? What's your direction? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Give me just a second. I'm also locating you to see to make it stronger. You've got like a big spotlight on you. On a spirit world, you're wide open, which you need to start working on that. Not necessarily for a career, but just so you can manage better in your life. And you've never been wrong with your intuition.
No, you're spot on, 110%. Absolutely, yes.
So the first thing is this. Pay attention to the money you're spending and pay attention to the money that you're making. Just, if you haven't done it, make a budget of not a budget of what you want to do, but what are you doing is the first thing. Is be mindful of what you have in the bank and how much you spend and how much you make. And usually when I see that happening, that means there is a change coming. The other card that I see with you is it's a high arcadic card or spirit-led card called the Sun. And the Sun is powerful. It is, everything is going to give you clarity. You're going to see crystal clear of what's going on and rise above the chaos. Instead of what you're doing, Veronica, Dee, what you're doing, Dee, is this. You are absorbing the chaos because you don't want it. But when you absorb the chaos in your group of your work, it's causing it's about to cause physical pain. Like my lower back is starting to hurt, and there's pressure on it. And I feel that when it comes to and circulation too. So that's not yours to carry. The other thing that I see is that once you let go of the need to clear the room and keep that energy, once you release it, you're going to have a lot of choices and financial choices of what's happening. Okay, so are you interested in, I don't know what you do for a living, but let me ask you this. Are you interested, or is it your job about helping other people stand for themselves or to protect themselves, or anything that is a protective, like when I think of like a police, attorney, a social worker, something to, like even a teacher? What kind of work are you interested in?
Well, and I will call you over the weekend for a one-on-one reading for sure. It's more of an in-between. I don't want to get into a whole lot of details, but it's more of like in between. So you're at the top, I'm in the middle, and then my interaction between you and myself, you're helping based on the communication that I'm providing, if that makes sense.
Yes. Well, it's not revealed yet, but it is coming. And you do have all the gifts that you need to do for your new career, what you're doing. But I also see the point to just wait. Everything's on hold. Be patient. It's not stopping. It's just not at your pace that you want to take it. So you got to give it some time. And yes, I'm looking forward to reading you because there's a lot to unload here. There's a lot of good stuff. So yeah, send me a message and we'll book something for you. Okay.
Remember, anncartermedium@gmail.com, or look for her in Ann Carter on Facebook or her website, anncartermedium.com. So, Ann, do you want to take one more, or how do you feel?
I know that it's 1 o'clock, but I'll definitely take one more. And for those of you, I feel bad that I can't get everyone, but that's the reason why I wanted to give that deep discount, because you called for a reason. You wanted to speak to me for a reason. And I feel like that's the best way to do is get you a way to be able to get to book something with me that, with a discount. So let's take one more.
Okay. So you want to go to North Carolina or Mississippi or Connecticut?
Ooh, I would like to take all three, but I can't. Let me do Mississippi.
Okay, so Leslie?
Yes. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great.
So what's your question?
Yes, I would like a love card, please, because there was this woman I met on an airplane last December. She is a great person, really attractive, and I feel a strong sense of strength and unity with her in the next several months.
Okay, so are you still connected with her, the same person you met on the plane?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I want you to think of that person. See her in your mind. And the first thing that I feel when I connect with you is a little bit of a pressure headache. I don't know if you have a headache or if you need to drink more water. That's one of the things that I feel. It's like when I connect, your spirit opens up and lets me to connect with you. Sometimes I'll feel a symptom, so I need to tell you that. Let's see what's going on with her. Okay. Okay, so I would say the first thing is you're going to have to let it go on its time. It's going to be about, I would say, a few months before things start to kind of reveal itself. But I do see a connection, a celebration. Did you just meet her, or have you gone on a date or anything with her yet?
No, I have not gone on a date with her, and I was wearing a sweatshirt of my college alma mater, and she recognized, she went to that college too, so we struck up a conversation because we were scheduled on the same flight back to Memphis from Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about our careers.
I would reach out to her, but I do see number 4 representing, this feels like a month, 4 months or so, but I do see celebration. It's not revealed yet, but I would reach out to her. Is she in finances? What kind of work does she do?
She works in higher education because she got her master's in higher education from one of the universities in Chicago, and she works at a nonprofit children's research hospital in the Memphis area.
I gotcha. Okay. And the reason why I ask that is that I see to where she's like a collaborator or someone who helps other people, or you do that. I see this as someone who is, for example, a mortgage person, or someone who is a counselor, someone who is a paralegal, someone who assists people in things. So that looks like it's possibly coming up, which is interesting because I see a lot of equal strength with you and with her. She's wide open as well. So to get more information, definitely book some time with me because that seems really interesting. You've got great energy.
Mhm. Yeah, because I won't be back in Memphis until Labor Day weekend.
Let's see. That's in 4 weeks, isn't it? Let's see. That's first part of September.
Right, first weekend in September.
Oh, okay, there's your 4. Yeah, so this is, I'm going to look on my phone and see. But yeah, I would say definitely, you're going to see her. I think things are going to go good with you. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, end of August, beginning of September. So your plans will be made. Have fun.
Yeah, it's going to be like a sort of a long distance romance because I'm promised myself if I get a job in Memphis, I will definitely be closer to her or be living with her as a live-in boyfriend.
So the minute you said that, I pulled another card and the celebration card came out. So I would say go for it. You got a green light, go for her. Go for it.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and good luck to you, sweetie.
Yeah, and do call back and let us know how it went, and invite us to the wedding, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we have reached the end of today's show, but and what is that message? And also, Beth, what would be that message for everybody that were listening, and to say goodbye? And also remember, everybody, today is July. August, she'll be back with her shows, so make sure you put it on your calendars.
So the only thing I would say is, trust your instinct. You were never wrong. Acknowledge where the information is coming from. Identify if it's a feeling or if it's a sense of knowing or if you heard something. And then when that happens, send gratitude, because the more gratitude you have, the stronger your messages will become. So that's what I'll leave you guys with, and I'll hopefully, you join in next month, and please reach out if you'd like to have a reading with me. I'll look forward to it.
And thank you for coming today, everybody. Thank you, and have a beautiful weekend. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.